she helped me kind of uncover a different path. And she made comments like, I'm noticing that you get all lit up and you get excited and passionate when you talk about things in a creative space. And she would say, you know, I think maybe you should spend a little bit more time in a city and see what that hustle and bustle is about. Because I went to school like upstate New York, totally centrally isolated is what they used to always refer to it as. And eventually she actually talked me into leaving the university and going and exploring design. And it was with that encouragement and those kind of messages along my life path that led me here today. And so I thought I might actually spend our topic on designers as Sherpas. And for anyone who's not too familiar with that term, Sherpa is actually refers to a specific group of people in the Himalayas that help people climb mountains and keep themselves safe. And now it's been used in a much broader sense as really people, expert guides, people who are expert in the field, and they don't lead, but they keep everyone safe and on the path. And often they create a new path, a path that wasn't really intended or expected in order to achieve the goal, in order to make it to the top of the mountain. So I'm going to frame the next 30 minutes with you on how we as designers are Sherpas every day, and how we work with clients in different ways in order to uncover those possibilities, and how we often do that not as the leader, but actually as the person who is carving the path. Before I do that, what Kendall didn't tell you is that I do come from Procter & Gamble, so I want to give you a little bit of context as to what my daily life is like, and thus the examples that I'll share with you later. So P&G is a rather large commercial products goods company. It's about 83 billion at this point. We're in about 130 countries. We touch, I think the stat is 1 billion consumers every day with our products and services. And most of you probably know us for what's up here. Tide, Crest, Gillette, these are our big brands, Pampers. And we have historically been known as a marketing company and technology. We have a lot of history in this space. So for the well over 100 years that the company's been around, that's what we've been known for. In the last decade, thanks in great part to a phenomenal CEO who recently retired, design has really become the third leg of that stool. And A.G. Lafley made it part of his legacy to the company to really increase the focus on design as a meaningful way to connect with consumers, but also as a key business building tool. And I owe a lot to that effort. My job is actually in our beauty care business. So within Procter & Gamble Beauty, we have brands such as Pantene, Olay, CoverGirl, which is right up the street. Our global headquarters for CoverGirl is in Hunt Valley, Maryland. And you can see a few others up here as well, Herbal Essences and VID00007, etc. And what is most exciting about my role is that I get to work with designers from every possible discipline. So we have fashion designers, and obviously graphic designers, industrial designers, some architects, people who work just in the ergonomics arena, etc. And we work as a multidisciplinary team in about 11 locations, 8 different countries. And with that, we're able to bring in a whole set of vantage points to really complete a complete experience from A to Z. So moving back to the topic of today, and giving you hopefully a little bit of context that will share these examples, I'm going to frame this in this continuum, this idea that there are really 5 different levels that you can use design to impact and to help your clients and to some degree your family and colleagues as well in framing what's possible. And the 0 level, so this doesn't count, but I wanted to put it in there because there's a lot of it out there. And we owe the world better. This is design by default. This is no conscious use of design at all. And I know a lot of these examples. My favorite one, over to the right, that is a universal remote. And my husband has taken everything we've got in our house and put it to this one universal remote, and I can't make anything work. It is not intuitive whatsoever. So I'm really waiting for Apple to do something. I can figure it out.
You can buy,
there's help from the audience.
yeah, you can.
There's an app for that? Is that what you just said? I'm going to track you down after. Okay. So the first level of design is what we typically think of all the time. This is around styling. And frankly, we spend a lot of our time here, and it's really valuable. It's important. This is about making things look great. It's about expressing what your brands stand for. It's about communicating the personality, your brand character, all of those choices. Letting people know what the product actually does, what the benefit of the product is. That's all in the first level of design, styling. The second level, for forever, we've been talking about form and function. That's what design is, right? Form and function. So that's level 2 of design. And I'm going to tell you the story of what's up here. So this is a Rubbermaid laundry basket. And it was designed by one of my colleagues that actually works at P&G now. His name's Scott, so we'll use his name. And the marketing group came to him one spring, so it was probably 6 months before that, and said, we need a new laundry basket for spring, and we'd like it to be purple, and we need some flowers. So that was what the request was. And Scott said, okay, I will take that on. And he knew that he would bring them a laundry basket that had flowers on it, but he also knew that there was something more that he could do with this problem or with this opportunity. And so he went and he spent a week in laundromats watching people wash their laundry, obviously, and it's quite a balancing act. And for the most part, people held their laundry basket here, and it was broken because it gets crushed, right? And there's no handle there because the handles are here. So it's really awkward too, and so your fingers are like up in the cracks, and nothing bad